Hi, and welcome to Purposeful Woman podcast. And today we have Jaime, and Jaime's mission is to create this space and opportunity for art and music instructors to provide online programs, courses, workshops, and memberships without all the tech getting in the way. Hi, and welcome, Jaime.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for coming. And as always, I would love to hear your story. I guess here it's like, how did you get online and what was your inspiration?
Yeah, so I started out as a techie. I sat down in front of a computer in the early 80s, got my degree in the computer science in the 90s, and spent a decade in corporate IT. But then I had a family, and my kids were really what I wanted to focus on. So I decided to leave my corporate job and start building websites for just as a freelance thing so I could be home with them. And I ebbed and flowed a whole lot. I kind of dabbled in this, it dabbled in that. And eventually I found myself working on courses and working on membership sites and working on things that helped other people learn something or do something. And my favorite clients have always been the creatives, the people who allow for someone else to have an opportunity to gain knowledge. I love working with artists and musicians and singing coaches and people who just help others expand themselves. So that's really kind of the long story short. I just love being the techie to help creative visionaries get their product online. And so that's really kind of all the bits and pieces that I've put together.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And tell us more about what mistake do you, it's not even a mistake, we're not speaking about regrets, but like what do you think you will do differently knowing that you're knowing right now?
Yeah. So I definitely think that it's a matter of setting boundaries and not letting myself push outside of those boundaries. I know what I'm good at. I also know what I'm able to do. And what I'm good at and able to do are two different things. I can do a lot of things, but I'm really good at some things. And so making sure that what I spend my time on is what I'm really good at versus just doing everything. So, yeah.
Okay. And what will be the number one advice for in your field? What would you like to share for an expert in your expert field?
I think that there's a common misconception in the online business, online courses and space is that you have to follow somebody's method. And there is no one right way to expand online and to create your courses and your workshops and things like that. And you don't have to follow someone's blueprint. If you have an idea for what you want to do, partner with the right service providers to help you bring that to life. You don't have to take someone else's blueprint and put your idea inside it.
So, what would you recommend? Where to start? Whenever you have an idea, let's break it down. For those who have an idea for workshop, what, where to start?
Yeah. For where to start is definitely with the goal. Is it that you want people to come out of that workshop with? Do you want them to come out with a skill? Do you want them to have experience? Do you want them to have a journal? Like, what is it that you want them to have when they come out of it? And then go all the way back to the beginning of what do you want them to already know and do before they come into that workshop? So everything that they need before they come into the workshop, you want to define what that is and define what their end goal is, because then you can meet in the middle and that's where your workshop actually sits.
I love it. So you're starting with the idea, you're breaking down, and then if there's any advices on where to find people, on how to create a tech for the workshops.
Yeah. So I'm always about use what you already have. So whatever email marketing system you're using, use that. Wherever you live online already. If you're, in a Facebook group, you can do it on a Facebook group. If you're using Zoom, you can use Zoom. If you have a website, you can host it on your website. You can do a lot of things with what you already have. Don't try and add a whole bunch of new tech all at once. You can add one or two little pieces, but you don't have to add this whole huge amount of technology all at once when you are creating this workshop or whatever it is that you're creating. Start with what you've got. And if you don't have anything, the bare minimum is how do you get on screen with other people? Generally speaking, that's using Zoom. And then you're going to have your email marketing provider.
I can't wait until we go back to real workshops and started to do real workshops again. But I really love mobility and accessibility of Zoom and being able to attend workshops that is on other side of the world, which is insane. So good. I love it.
Yeah.
What I know that you have a gift for us today. What is it?
It is my Expand Online Getting Started guide, which is taking you through the 5 phases of an online product. And when I say product, it can be a course, a membership site, a workshop, group programs, anything. And it's just taking you through those and starting to help you map out what it looks like and where you're going to actually be able to take that idea and do something with it.
Love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on and tell us more about how our audience can find you, where they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. So the best place to find me, and I love, love, love having DM conversations, is over on Instagram. I'm at Jaime Slutzky. I know we'll have that in the show notes, but it's JaimeSlutzky. So just my name, that is what it is. And I'm over on Instagram.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your story, your wisdom with our audience. And well, like always, you guys subscribe and rate it and give us some love. Send messages to Jaime if you listen to her podcast and acknowledge her as well. All right. Bye. Nice to meeting you here. Nice to seeing you again. And if you love this episode and you would love to see more of that, click the subscribe button to Purposeful Woman Podcast. And don't forget to text us to stay in tune with the Purposeful community for awesome tricks by texting to number +1 401 399 4105. And we will link descriptions in the episode to all of that we mentioned today. Bye. Turn your one day to day one with a purposeful day.